They always warned me never to drive the back roads after midnight, not because of thieves, not because of wild animals crossing the lanes, not even because of the fog that drifts in from the bogs like a living thing. No, the warning was older than any police report, older than any roadside memorial. It was about him, the Watcher. When I first heard the stories, I laughed them off. A tall figure with a lantern waiting at the crossroads in the dead of night. Silent, unmoving, pointing strangers down roads that swallowed them whole. It sounded like the kind of campfire tale meant to frighten tourists or keep kids from wandering off. They said anyone who asked him for directions would be found at dawn at another intersection, laid out neatly in the center of the road, eyes open, hands folded across their chest, like the Watcher was saving them for someone else to find. Folklore, I thought, nothing more. Last night proved me wrong. My shift ran late. By the time I got onto the rural routes, it was nearly 1 a.m. The fog was the thickest I'd ever seen, so heavy that my headlights carved out nothing but a dull tunnel of white. The world felt muted, muffled, as if wrapped in cotton. Even the engine sounded distant. The GPS lost signal miles back. The road twisted in directions I didn't recognize, and the fuel gauge was dipping low. As I crept around a bend, I saw it, a faint orange glow hovering in the fog. Then a shape, tall, still, human-shaped, but stretched somehow. I slowed the car until the tires crunched to a stop at a crossroads I didn't remember ever seeing. He stood exactly where the road split, a towering figure draped in a long coat or cloak that blended into the mist. In one hand, he held a lantern glowing with an old, steady flame. Not LED, not a flashlight. Something older, something wrong. He didn't move. He didn't breathe. He just stood there like he'd been waiting for me. My stomach knotted as if cold fingers reached inside and twisted. Every instinct screamed to turn around, to flee, to shut my eyes and pretend I hadn't seen him. But the fog behind me thickened, curling along the rear window like it wanted to crawl inside. Against every rational thought, I rolled down the window. My voice sounded tiny in the silence. Which way? To town? For a long moment, nothing happened. Then the lantern shifted, tilting to the left, smoothly, soundlessly, not like a man lifting his arm, more like the lantern itself decided to move. I didn't want to follow, but the fog pressed in from all sides, suffocating me with the sense that I had only one choice. I turned left. The road stretched on in a long, endless line of pale mist and empty hedgerows. No signs, no lights, not even the sound of wind, just me, the engine humming too quietly, and the feeling that the world had fallen away behind me. Minutes passed, or maybe hours. Time felt strange. My phone battery died. The car's clock blinked and reset itself. The fuel gauge dipped below empty, yet the engine kept running. Then the road widened ahead. Another crossroads, and standing at the center, the same figure, the same lantern, exactly the same. I slammed the brakes so hard the seatbelt dug into my chest. This made no sense. I hadn't looped. I hadn't turned around. I had driven straight. But there he stood, as though the road simply bent reality to bring me back to him. My breath trembled. I shouted through the window, voice cracking. "What do you want from me?" The Watcher didn't answer. The lantern rose silently and pointed to the right. I don't remember choosing to obey, but I did. My hands moved on the wheel like they belonged to someone else. I drove. And again, the road twisted and turned until another intersection appeared. And again, he was there, always pointing. Every direction led me back to him. The lantern's glow never flickered. The fog never lifted. The car never ran out of fuel. I think I screamed at some point. I think I begged the dark to let me go. I'm not sure. Everything blurred into a sickening loop of fear and asphalt. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore. I stopped the car in the middle of the road, got out, and stepped into the wet, choking fog. The air tasted like metal and decay. The watcher stood at the center of the crossroads, lantern raised as if in greeting. Up close, I saw his face, or the place where a face should have been. A deep, absolute void, black like a dead star, swallowing the lantern's light instead of reflecting it. He raised the lantern one more time, but this time he didn't point down a road. He pointed at me. My legs froze. The fog pressed in. The world tilted, and the darkness inside that hood stretched outward like hands. I don't remember falling. I don't remember the agony. I don't remember the cold fingers arranging my limbs just so. But I know what happened, because I'm lying here now, at the crossroads. My eyes are open, but I cannot blink. My chest does not rise, yet somehow I'm still aware. The lantern burns beside me, never dimming, never warming. And when the next traveler comes, guided by fog and fear, I will be here, watching, just like he was, waiting for them to ask the way.